Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today. Local news on ABC, CBS, Fox, and NBC stations across the country is about to get a lot bigger as local TV stations try to use news to offset cord cutting. Comcast is also putting the nail maybe into the coffin of Cartoon Network. We'll tell you what Comcast is doing that's going to be a huge issue for Cartoon Network fans. And Amazon and Roku team up. You may be finding some partnerships between Amazon's Fire TV and Roku streaming players. We'll tell you about these streaming player news and a whole lot more happening in the world of cord cutting. First though, if you like what we do here, you can always find a link to every story we talk about in the show notes and in the first pinned comment. So you can read them for yourself and come up with your own opinions. I'd love to hear from you. If you're new here and you like what we do, please consider hitting that subscribe button or hitting that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. So YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow and hopefully helping you break free from the high cost of TV, but still watch the shows you enjoy. All right, let's dive into it. Tinga announced today, or yesterday from when this is posted, that they're going to be expanding their local news by over 100 hours a week of new daily news programs in 50 plus markets across their owned ABC, NBC, Fox, and CBS stations. They're one of the largest owners of local TV stations in the country. Now, you know I've talked about this a lot. There's two things people really watch with TV: sports and news. And that's why increasingly we're seeing more and more local news content coming, because it is relatively cheap in the long run to produce and create compared to a big blockbuster TV show, and it draws in a lot of people. With this, you're going to be seeing a growth in early morning news slots and pilot a 7 a.m. live streams also, where you'll be able to stream exclusive online content from Tinga-owned TV stations. I actually got one where I live here in West Michigan, and you can find them in all over the country with it. We've seen this growing trend to lean into news. Nexstar, the largest provider of local news, has also been expanding its local news and making it once again streaming friendly online. Now Tinga's doing it. We also see Sinclair and others been heavily leaning into its local news. Look for that to become a big push. There's, if reruns of daytime talk shows and the like aren't drawing audience, it seems that TV show stations are hoping more daytime news programming will. Are you a fan? Do you watch local news? I'll be honest, I do sometimes. But increasingly, my local news consumption is from my local TV stations, but through their YouTube channels. Often I will find when I wake up in the morning, they got the weather for the day on the YouTube. I kind of play that real quick as I get ready. Or they got a little story, something happening I see off of Facebook. I click through to their website or to their YouTube to watch it. But I don't do what I used to do, which is almost every night sit down and watch the local news. I just don't do that like I used to. Let me comment, let me know if you do, or if you're like me, increasingly it's in videos like this on YouTube. All right. I know a lot of people have been saying, why are we covering so much bad news about cable networks shutting down and other news? Because it feels like recently a flood of bad news has hit cable TV networks. Like all at once, a bunch of major network owners for cable TV networks have said, these networks may not be worth it anymore. That's why we've seen Comcast spin off their cable networks, or most of them. Warner Brothers Discovery's doing the like. HBO is shutting down several of its cable networks. Starz is being spun off into an independent company from Lionsgate. And now Comcast has announced that in August, it's going to be removing Cartoon Network from its core TV packages. Now, they had not that long ago moved it to its most expensive Ultimate TV package. Now they're going to take it out of that package on August 12th, 2025. And move it into the sports and entertainment add-on, which is an additional $9.95, where you find things like Big Ten Network, other sports networks with it, and now Cartoon Network along with like the Military History Channel. This comes as increasingly networks are not seeing news or value in Cartoon Network. People watching news, they're watching sports. They're not really watching cartoons. We talked about this in a video last week where I talked about, is Cartoon Network in major trouble? Big round of layoffs just happened at Warner Brothers Discovery, and with staff that remained even questioning what the future of the network is. Now, Comcast is moving it out of all of its core packages to this add-on where you're going to have to ask for it if you want it. The target audience there is tweens and like young teens, let's just say range 8 through 14 or something in that range. That may be a little bit wide, but get the idea. Increasingly, the actual people watching are 18 and older, and that's why we've seen Adult Swim expand its lineup hours. We've seen the Cartoon Network put reruns of old 90s and early 2000 shows to catch the nostalgic older viewers. You know, I got a daughter firmly in that age range, and she's out on YouTube and Netflix and Hulu and Crunchyroll and all the other services, Disney Plus. She's not watching Cartoon Network. We have options for her to do that. Couldn't care less. So it'll be interesting to see what the future of Cartoon Network is, but it does feel like a dam recently broke. And once Comcast said we're spinning off our networks, other cable executives said, you know what? I think we're going to be done with some of these networks. We're going to either spin them off, shut them down, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that coming forward as they've just become financially unstable to the point where many people want them off their books. Wouldn't be surprised to see other cable networks soon drop, or cable companies drop Cartoon Network soon. All right, let's keep moving along. Amazon and Roku have announced a new TV partnership for ad streaming online. With this, they're going to basically allow you to shop the Amazon TV market and buy ads not just for Fire TVs, but also get your ads across Roku streaming players. Between Roku and Amazon, 80% of the advertising market for connected TVs in the United States are on those two platforms. Roku is, from my understanding, the largest of the two. And then Amazon's a close second, followed by other platforms. With this, though, customers will now be able to go to Amazon's ad purchasing system and place a bid not just to appear on Fire TVs and apps running on Fire TVs, but also through Roku's own app or ad system to be put on Roku players, Roku apps, and other places where Roku sells ads. Very, very powerful platform here now. If you're an ad buyer, to be able to access 80% of the connected TV market by buying through one partner that gets you both on Roku and Fire TV is massive. Would not surprise me to see Google or Apple partner into this also for some of their platforms for those apps that play videos ads on those devices. We'll wait and see what happens, but huge win for Roku and huge win for Amazon on this, as both of them bring a large customer base and a really massive powerhouse now to connected ads on TV. All right, speaking of Prime Video, Amazon is reportedly exploring bringing back a very popular show. We're just talking about kids' networks hit shows not being really popular on Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon and alike. While Steven Universe, very popular show, is reportedly, according to a report from Deadline, in early stages of coming back with a new revival show, this time on Amazon Prime Video. Could be a huge win for Amazon as they look for exclusive content to attract a younger audience and families who are probably willing to shop a lot online. No details yet, but according to Deadline, it's in the works. It'll be interesting to see what plays out there. Are you ready to feel a little old? This week in TV history, 45 years ago this week, the Blues Brothers first premiered. First release in Chicago, igniting a cultural phenomenon. Let's be honest. If you grew up in the 80s or 90s, this movie hit June 16th, 1980, 45 years ago now. Let's be honest, this movie just had a big impact. If you grew up in the 90s, early 2000s, it seemed like it was always on TV also. Quotable lines, great story, very fun movie. Any Blues Brothers fans here? Leave me a comment, let me know. And lastly, hey, don't forget, every Monday we post a list of what's new on across of many different streaming services. I'll just highlight one, but Netflix, Max, Hulu, and others are out there. Right now, though, if you're looking for something to watch, Netflix has the Intern movie coming to Netflix this week, along with a bunch of other TV shows and movies, including original content with it. Check out the full list for this and other streaming services over at CoreCarsNews.com. Link in the show notes and in the first pinned comment. You can find it there. Well, that's it for today. Hey, let me know. Are you surprised at all by the massive numbers of, let's be honest, bad news coming to cable networks? HBO shutting down a bunch of its smaller channels. Starz is being spun off. Warner Brothers Discovery is getting rid of all of its cable networks into a new company pretty much, including things like HGTV, CNN, Cartoon Network, etc. Comcast dropping Cartoon Network from its lineup, saying it's not worth it. You have to get a special add-on now. None of its core packages will have it anymore. And more. There's a lot of bad news out there for TV. It feels really like finally cable executives were holding on for as long as they could, and they just said, no longer, we're done with this. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of that. I'd love to hear from you. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll be back again tomorrow with another video. Until then, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care. Be safe. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it.